I've just reached bra strap length hair and I'm convinced this product helped me to get there. If you're anything like me, you want to grow healthy, long hair, but somehow it just feels like it's not growing. And you've probably heard it over and over again that black women apparently just don't grow long hair. Well, I'm here to expose the lies. It's absolute nonsense. Indigenous strands use this very product to retain her hair length. And once I cottoned onto it, I was able to get past my plateau, which was shoulder length, and get to bra strap length. And we're not stopping there, trust me. So I'm not gonna gatekeep the secrets. I wanna share this really easy recipe with you. So what am I talking about? If you're a regular to this Natural 2020 hair channel, then you'll probably know that I'm talking about flaxseed gel. You're probably bored of me talking about flaxseed gel. And after a couple of years of trying to develop the right consistency, I feel like I've just about got that recipe set for my hair and I want to share it with you. So let's get into it. But I first need to mention, this product is not a miracle worker, okay? Only Jesus is the miracle worker. My point is, flaxseed gel is only going to work for you if you put it to work properly. So what I mean by that is, you can't just put flaxseed gel on your hair and leave your hair alone for like 6 weeks, never touch it, never moisturize it, never wash it, never do anything with it and think that it's gonna work. It's not. But if you stick to a solid routine of washing your hair, moisturizing and protecting your hair, and then you add flaxseed gel to it, that's gonna do really good for you. Actually, let me not say that. Listen, it works for me. I'm here to share with you what works for me because I don't know your hair. So I'm letting you know this is what works for me. And how it works for me is that it seals my ends and the gel is stiffened around my ends so that it prevents breakage, it prevents single strand knots. Well, it doesn't prevent them, but I get less single strand knots and I get less split ends as well. So if you don't yet have a solid hair care routine, then I'm gonna link a video above for you and that will help you to develop your own hair care routine. But whilst you're watching this video, let's have a conversation in the comment section. I wanna know, what's your opinion on like DIYs? Are you for them? Are you against them? Do you do them? Do you have the time to do them? Yeah, or do you just prefer to just go to the shop and buy it? All right, let's get on to the recipe. So these are the things that you're gonna need. You'll need your flax seeds, or it's also called linseed. You'll need water. You'll need a pot. You'll need a cup to measure with. You'll also need a jar or a tub or something that you're gonna put the flaxseed gel in the end. Something that also can go in the fridge. Let me point that out. You're also gonna need a stirrer or a spoon. And if you have one, then a cheesecloth. Or if not, then a sock will do. Just make sure it's an old sock, one that you're not planning to use again. Believe me, you won't want to use it after you've used it for this. And another thing for me to point out, because this is a mistake I've made, is it's really important to ensure that the jar or the tub that you're going to use, that you're going to put the flaxseed gel in, that you really dry it out. No, really clean it out properly and dry it out. And even if you've used flaxseed gel in there before, don't think, oh, you know, I'm just putting another batch in, I don't have to wash it thoroughly. Trust me, I've made that mistake, so you don't have to. Okay, and for your measurements, what has worked for me every single time is I use 1/4 cup of flax seeds to 2 cups of water. Okay, so we're discussing DIYs. Let me share my opinion. So at first, I think I even made a video. I have a video really early on my YouTube where I was just totally dissing DIYers. I was like, why would I be cooking hair products basically? Before, it was almost like I can barely find time to cook for myself, food to eat, let alone cook things to put in my hair, you know what I'm saying? So that was how I thought of it before, but I think I've actually been converted. Now here's the thing, I do about 2 to 3 DIYs and all of them are really simple. So I've never gotten into things like, I don't know how you did it, but in terms of rice water and leaving it for like 3 nights or however you do it, I don't know. Or just really complicated DIYs. I've never been into that and I don't know if I will be. Who knows? I said that last time and here we are doing DIYs. But yeah, that's me. I think they're really good for our hair most of the time, but it's just about finding the time to do it, and sometimes other things take priority. So let's have a chat in the comment section, because I'm learning a lot from you guys too, by the way, and I'd really love to hear what's your opinion on DIYs. Now, I put the pot on about a medium heat, and I don't put the lid on. So I just leave that to heat up and do what it's doing. You also want to make sure that you're stirring it regularly, and that's because as it gets hotter, the seeds begin to like stick to the sides, which can mess up your pot, and you don't want that. Now, the first few times of medium flaxseed gel, I tend to have about a medium consistency, I'd say. And for that kind of consistency, you're boiling it for about, I'd say about between 8 to 12 minutes. But I recently have started to do my flaxseed gel to a much thicker consistency, and that takes about 13 to 17 minutes. So you can see it's slowly bubbling up, and this is around the medium consistency that you're seeing now. So if I wanted my flaxseed gel to just be, you know, a normal consistency, then I would probably turn it off about now. However, I'm gonna leave it for a bit longer, and you'll see the thickness that I want it to get to. I think another indicator of when it is done is when you start to see the white like froth. That's when it's pretty much got to that normal consistency, and if you wanted to turn the fire off at that point, that would be absolutely fine, and that product probably would still work quite well for you. But now this is the thick consistency that I want to see from my flaxseed gel. Now, I do have to point something out. When you cool it down, it thickens up even more. So that's something to be mindful of. Whilst you're like stirring it, you're able to see how thick it is, but just be mindful that it's gonna thicken up as it cools down. And once it's done, you're just gonna turn it off and set it aside, because you need it to cool before you go to the next step. And this is a step where it gets a bit crazy. It gets very messy. So maybe if you got children, they'd probably love doing something like this. Maybe you could get them involved, I don't know. But you're going to get your jar or your tub, whatever it is that you're using, get your cheesecloth or your sock and put it in the jar, and then pour the flaxseed gel into it. And then what you're gonna do is just squeeze down the cheesecloth or the sock, and you're gonna see obviously the flaxseed coming out. And the first couple of times that you do this, it will be much easier. But once you get to the part where you're pouring in the actual seeds, that's when the process is much, much harder. It's also very messy as well, if you hadn't noticed. And honestly, I'm not one of those hair people, trichologists, is that what it's called? Something like that. So don't take my word for it, but I tend to put mine in the fridge, and I probably leave it in there for maybe about 4 weeks maximum. You'll know when it's no longer good because it starts to smell a bit funny. And so if you enjoyed this video, you can see how I actually apply this flaxseed gel to my hair by watching this video next. Thank you so much for watching. On this channel, we're here to grow our natural hair long, and I'm here to share my tips and tricks with you along the way. So don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss out on all the gems. See you on the next one.